you know what's crazy, guys? What just hit me? I literally just had a mind thing where my mind snapped together because I, from the beginning of this adventure, had been like, why did Donald Trump take Alex Acosta, who let Jeffrey Epstein off? Why did he make him labor secretary? Why would he do that, right? And it just hit me. He didn't do it to reward Acosta. He did it to protect himself because the guy that knew everything about what Epstein had was now in his fucking cabinet, right? He took the guy, he couldn't elevate Barry Krischer from the Palm Beach State Attorney's Office, but he literally took the one guy who knew all of the FBI's shit on Epstein, and he put him right fucking next to him. He kept him close. I don't know how people with daughters do it. Like, how do you parent a daughter when the fucking president is a racist? You know what I'm saying? Like, how do you, like, every woman in America who's not a brainwashed Christian just feels the stink of rape and ignoring consent and dripping your second rate and you have no rights misogyny. Like, how do you even parent a young girl through that? I have no idea, especially if you're a woman. You're grappling to keep your head above water in that cesspool. You know what I'm saying? Dude. And I mean, the patriarchy is bad enough, but it's like, it's beyond the patriarchy. It's like the people running the country are abusers. Okay? The entire institutional leadership in America is abusers who don't believe in consent. Oh, Portland, you don't want the National Guard? Fuck you. We're giving you the National Guard. Whoa, we won the legal challenge. Well, now we're going to give you Texas's National Guard. Whoa, we won that legal challenge. Now they want to pull out some bullshit insurrectionist act. They want to strip us of consent and just ravage us. That's rape culture. That is abusers. Rapists are running the country and they want to grape us all. You know what I mean? In whatever way possible. It is literally racist, dude. That's what it is. It is like, and women are hypersensitive to that shit, dude. You know, it's like, what the fuck, dude? I've never seen it so brutally clear. And what are they hiding? They're hiding the Epstein files. All right, we got to get in here, though. This is Michael Wolff, okay? Now, why is this important, guys? Why is this Michael Wolff shit important? Because of that Pam Bondi, Sheldon Whitehouse interaction that we had the other day.
Let me ask you something else. There's been public reporting that Jeffrey Epstein showed people photos of President Trump with half-naked young women. Do you know if the FBI found those photographs in their search of Jeffrey Epstein's safe or premises or otherwise? Have you seen any such thing?
Now, the play here, this is a softball. He threw an underhanded softball. It's real easy, Pam Bondi. No, we have not seen any photos. No such photos exist. Right? The FBI has no photos. We've not seen any photos. It's insulting that you're even saying there are, because nobody in the Department of Justice has ever encountered photos. Those don't exist. There is no such evidence. It's like real fucking simple, right? I mean, this is the easiest fucking question to answer, right? No, those photos don't exist. Nobody's ever seen them because they don't exist. But here we go.
You know, Senator Whitehouse, you sit here and make salacious remarks, once again trying to slander President Trump left and right, when you're the one who was taking money from one of Epstein's closest confidants, I believe, I could be wrong, correct me, Reid Hoffman, who was with Jeffrey Epstein.
She's wrong.
On multiple occasions. And the senator sitting right next to you tried to block the flight logs from being released. Yet you're grilling me on President Trump and some photograph with Epstein?
Photograph with Epstein? It's not a photograph with Epstein. No, I know. She's a liar. She's like, but again, why didn't she just say no? You know what I'm saying? Like, literally, why didn't she just say, no, we haven't seen those photos. Those photos don't exist, right? I'll tell you why. Because lying to Congress is a fucking significant crime, okay? We know those photos exist. You know those photos exist. If they didn't exist, there would be no fucking reason whatsoever for her to go on this rant, okay? Because she can't say no. Because that would put her in fucking prison, boss.
Come on.
The question is, did the FBI find those photographs that have been discussed publicly by a witness who claimed Jeffrey Epstein showed them to him? You don't know anything about that. Okay?
Dude, look at that! She can't say no.
Epstein was particularly focused because he and Trump had been the closest of friends for more than a decade, and Epstein fancied himself a real Trump whisperer, that he understood Donald Trump. And in my experience, he was one of the more insightful people about Trump. And I have spoken to a lot of people about Donald Trump. But at any rate, in the course of one of these discussions about Trump, he left the room and then came back holding in his hands about a dozen Polaroid snapshots.
Oh, they're Polaroids. They're Polaroids.
Well, in my mind, they're Polaroid. I'm not 100% sure that they were, but they had those crenellated edges like a Polaroid. That's in my, as I say, in my mind, these are Polaroids, but they certainly are snapshots. And then he kind of like a deck of cards, kind of displayed them on the table. And there were specifically three that I remember, and this is now almost 10 years ago. So, but the three that I remember are two in which topless young women, and I don't know the ages of these women, but they are young, are sitting in Trump's lap. And this is outside Jeffrey Epstein's house in Palm Beach, around the swimming pool.
Okay, and is Trump dressed? Is he what?
Trump is dressed, and in mind's eye, it's kind of golfy,
golf leisure wear
attire. And then in the third picture, there is, and so he's wearing light pants. There is or tannish pants, and there's a stain on the front of his trousers. And the girls, four or five, as I remember, are pointing at the stain and laughing. And that is what I remember. And
see, that's just a really specific fucking detail. And you know what I mean?
And then Epstein would have returned these pictures to the safe, because I actually asked him, where do you keep these pictures? And he said in the safe. And later, when Trump was elected president, and I tried to encourage Epstein to do something with these pictures, and he said, I can't now. I may be such and such, but I'm not crazy, implying that he had some reason to fear the wrath of Donald Trump.
And again, Pam Bondi just couldn't say no. No, I've never seen pictures like that. The FBI doesn't possess any pictures like that. No pictures like that exist. But she didn't. She did not say no because she couldn't say no. All right? Or she would face liability because those pictures fucking exist. We know those pictures exist.
But then our conversation rolled on into when it started in 2015 and then into 2016 when Trump became what many people obviously were talking about because he was running for president.
See, it's important to note that Trump wasn't the president. Nobody ever thought Trump was going to be the president. You know what I'm saying? So think about that. Think about that from the Epstein angle, where Epstein is friends with Trump because Trump is running a human trafficking thing through his modeling agency. They're fucking around with young girls. Trump is letting Epstein pilfer young girls from his property. He's well aware. He's probably engaging in some shit with young girls with him. Other guys are going to the island. All this shit is going on. And it's just whatever. It's Trump. It's Prince Andrew. It's, Bill Clinton, but he was a former president. Whatever. But then all of a sudden, Trump becomes president. And Jeffrey Epstein has this, level of ammunition. You know what I mean? What's crazy, guys? What just hit me? I literally just had a mind thing where my mind snapped together because I, from the beginning of this adventure, had been like, why did Donald Trump take Alex Acosta, who let Jeffrey Epstein off? Why did he make him labor secretary? Why would he do that, right? And it just hit me. He didn't do it to reward Acosta. He did it to protect himself because the guy that knew everything about what Epstein had was now in his fucking cabinet, right? He took the guy, he couldn't elevate Barry Krischer from the Palm Beach State Attorney's Office, but he literally took the one guy who knew all of the FBI's shit on Epstein, and he put him right fucking next to him. He kept him close. I literally had never thought about that because it's so ridiculously obvious for him. So now Alex Acosta knew what Epstein had. So as long as Alex Acosta was next to Donald Trump knew everything that Epstein had on him. It's like, that's why he did it. Oh my God, dude. It's like this whole thing is about fucking Epstein. I mean, think about this. We're watching Pam Bondi. We're watching Kash Patel walk around saying, no one is above the law. If you break the law, we're coming for you. But dude, Ghislaine Maxwell, who sexually abused young girls and participated in a trafficking ring, 20-year sentence convicted, is doing yoga classes at a goddamn work camp, right? She gets to come home from yoga and go have a nice meal, guys. And Pam Bondi's threatening, if you wear a frog suit, we're going to fucking call you Antifa. We're going to put you away for life. Dude, we are living in the upside down. What is up, guys? Thank you so much for watching. You like the video, you want to support independent resistance media, you know what to do. Drop that sub, hit the like button, and please share it. And we do love our members, so if you want to become a member, it's another really great way to support. Thanks again for everything, guys. I'll see you next time. Let's go.